with me, no
Okay.
wrong answers. When I'm asking you questions, make sure you try to use as much of my question into your answer as possible. So, for example, I said, if I asked you, what is your favorite color? You would, instead of just saying red, answer, my favorite color is red.
Okay.
And then from there, so that way you can complete the full.
So basically, they can edit you out, and it still makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because they're not going to hear me at all. I'm not that important.
You are to us, man. You are to us.
I feel you, man.
And ready when you are.
Okay, great. All right. Yep, we're all ready? Okay, so if you can please give me your guys' names and spell it for me, please.
I'm Carrie, Keri.
And I'm Steve, Steve.
Okay, and last name?
Jenkins, Jenkins.
Great. Okay, so start off, tell me a little bit about you guys' lives. What do you guys do? What do you guys do for fun?
I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I love it.
I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I love it. But I also work from home. It's fun. It's interesting because you don't have the exact same boundaries that you do in a regular office. But I'm a stay-at-home computer geek, and used to work in an office and wear a tie, and I just thought it'd be a lot more fun to stay at home.
Great. And what kind of fun kind of things do you guys enjoy doing together?
We like traveling. We went to Italy. It was a recent big trip. We've been to Tahiti. We've been to Florida to see the space shuttle go off. So we were running out of space shuttles, couldn't see anything. We like going out. We've got a vacation home out in Eastern Washington, so we like to go out there and play on the water and just hang out as a family. Sometimes we'll travel with our kids. Sometimes we'll travel by ourselves. We were actually planning a trip to Vegas just by ourselves. And
We have a date night once a week.
yep, it's today. This is our date. This is
No, it's
date
after.
night. Oh, it's afterwards. Okay, never mind. This is not our date. Yeah. I'm into cars. I like to collect cars and drive them legally fast. I like scuba diving. I like electronics, and I like anything with a trigger. How about you? What kind of stuff do you like, babe?
It's not as thrilling. I like scrapbooking and just doing stuff with my kids and hanging out with them. I really love being a stay-at-home mom, so for me, that's fun.
Sounds like you guys have a great life.
We like it,
And
yeah.
you guys. That's great. So how long have you guys been married?
Just over 3 years. We celebrated our 3-year anniversary a little over a month ago.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Great.
Feels awesome,
Yeah.
Tell me how you guys met.
We had a mutual friend named MySpace, and he hooked us up. No, she friended me, and I went, and she was really new to it, and so I got this message saying, I don't know how this works, but, I saw your picture and thought you looked nice, so is it okay if I friend you? I'm like, hot blonde, is it okay if she friends me? All right, yeah. So we just started emailing each other and decided to go out to dinner, and then haven't been apart since.
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys realize that it was love?
Probably like date 3, right?
Yeah, it was.
Date 4 for you. You just crushed me.
No, pretty early on, I think. It felt right, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me how you proposed her.
It was really boring.
Use my,
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
So how I proposed to her was, really boring. I surprised her with a trip to Las Vegas and then took her into a restaurant where I think she maybe thought that I was going to propose on this trip. So had dinner all planned, and at dinner I stood up abruptly and then went to the bathroom, then came and sat back down, and then
Tricked me.
afterwards, I did trick you, I'm sorry. And then afterwards, we're right by the gondolas in the Venetian, and so I think it was even her idea to go on the gondola ride, and I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So we get in the gondola, and I even had it specially set so we didn't have to wait in line. There's a long line for it, and I just walked up, and they let us in, and so we get in the gondola, and we go to the little place at the end where lots of people propose, and it would have been the perfect place, and I just stop and hold her hand, and I'm like, isn't this really fun? Right?
So mean.
And so then we left there, and I said, okay, well, that's all the surprises. What do you want to do? She's like, I don't know. I knew she would want to go see the Eiffel Tower replica. So we went over there, and there was a big, long line to get in there. And we went up there, and I went up there, and I said, "Hey, I'm Steve." And I go, "Oh, yes, come with me right away." She's like, "What?" So we bypass the line, get in the elevator, go to the top. They blocked off the top of the observation tower at the Eiffel Tower at the Venetian. I got a little table set up with some sparkling cider and some snacks, and got down on one knee and pulled out a ring. I had to make sure the ring was big enough so that she'd say yes. So that's what I did. So standard stuff.
I would've
That's
said yes
standard
anyway.
proposal story. Yeah.
Like I said, boring.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
whatever.
He's very boring.
Carrie, how did that make you feel?
It was, it made me feel awesome. I mean, I'd never had anyone plan a trip for me like that, so it was really surprising. I think it was my first time to Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was your first time out of the county.
No, it's not true. No, but it was really exciting anyway, even if he hadn't proposed to me. And then when he proposed, it was just overwhelming. It was really great.
I wanted to get her to the point where she thought if there was any possibility it was going to happen, that go away, so it really could be a surprise. She is a very tough person to surprise. You are. You're a tough person to surprise. And so she's ruined a lot of surprises, and I was going to make sure she didn't ruin this one. She's too smart. She figures them out, and I'm really not good at keeping them secret from her. So I wanted to make sure she thought it was going to happen, then it wasn't, and then that was the only way to truly surprise her. I'm sorry. I had to be.
It surprised me.
I had to be a little bit sneaky to pull it off.
Great. So you guys are very in love and very intimate with each other.
That's a little personal.
Well-
But, no, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, I'd say we're very in love and very happily married. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So let's kind of jump into it. So you're the snorer.
I am. Yeah. Why is it always the guy? Yes, I'm the snorer.
And so, Carrie, describe to me what his snoring was like.
Audibly.
His snoring, the kids across the hall could hear him snoring. And so I was right next to him, and it was just very loud, like a lawnmower, I would say. And it was impossible to sleep. Impossible. So,
Loud like an electric lawnmower? Oh, okay.
loudest kind.
So what are some of the things that you tried to get him to stop snoring?
What did we try?
This. You'd like to try that?
Yeah, I would nudge him, and then I would kick him, and none of it worked.
Although I would always wake up bruised and confused.
He tried, he went and got tested for sleep apnea, and turns out that wasn't what it was. And they said he had mild snoring. Isn't that what they
They
said
said
at
mild
the
snoring.
clinic? And I disagreed.
There was nothing mild about
It
it.
wasn't mild. And yeah, we saw the ad for the ZQuiet, and I kept bugging him to call and try it because I wanted him to do anything he could to make it stop.
It
And
started when it was just the TV commercial. She'd say, "Oh, you should call and get one of those." And then it got to middle of day, no TV commercial on, and she'd say, "Have you called that number and bought that thing yet?" And
I mean, it
I
was
put it
worth
off.
a try, and fortunately, it worked.
So how bad did the snoring get? I mean, describe to me like a terrible, like a really bad night of snoring for you to try to sleep with.
Well, ultimately, I mean, the worst nights I would just kick him out because I needed sleep. After
luckily, we have a
certain
very
point.
comfortable guest bed, but it wasn't the same. We would always go to bed in the same bed, but when it got bad enough, it was more often than not I would wake up in a different bed.
Yeah, I tried different kinds of earplugs, and then I'd put a pillow over my head with the earplugs in. But none
You
of
tried
it.
music.
Yeah, and I tried listening to music, and then also with pillow over my head. But this just does not work. I could still hear it. So I'm glad that something finally has worked.
Did you feel like the snoring has affected your relationship at all?
Well, I think the snoring affected our relationship because it just made us both more tense because we were getting less sleep. So it wasn't so much that she was angry at me because I was snoring. At 2 a.m. when she's nudging and kicking, it would come across as angry, but I know she's not an angry person. She was just frustrated and wanting to sleep. I think it didn't affect our relationship and where it like drove anything between us, but it certainly affected our our quality of life and how cranky we were and kind of how nice we were to each other, probably because we just weren't getting enough sleep. I mean, I was the one who's snoring, but I was waking her up, and then she was waking me up to try and get me to stop. And even for the person who's snoring, to have to get up a couple times in the night to roll over can ruin your night's sleep.
So describe to me the next morning of a horrible night's sleep.
The next morning after one of those nights, we were both very tired. We'd wake up kind of cranky.
And I was usually either on the couch or in the guest room.
Right. And, you try to, you can't stop, you can't take a nap during the day. And we've got 4 kids, so you try and go on with your day. But you're tired. You're very tired when that happens.
And I'd try to be really apologetic because I'd go, did I snore last night? Or if she'd kick me out and I remember it, I'd apologize and go, I'm so sorry. I mean, I can't control it. I would try not to. I would try sleeping in different positions. I'd say, well, let me try wadding the pillow up and putting it behind my head this way, or I'm going to make sure I sleep on my stomach or sleep on my side. And I felt terrible because I felt like I was hurting her sleep through no fault of her own. And I felt guilty and really wouldn't want to do that to her.
But then came the ZQuiet.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work. I mean, I thought it was just one of those products you see on TV late at night. Sure, you're going to pay not that much money because, my dad sleeps with one of those machines over his nose for sleep apnea, and he has always snored terribly. I figured I was just the same. So when I got tested for sleep apnea and they said, no, you don't have it, I was actually almost hoping, I was disappointed when I got the result because I was hoping there'd be an answer. I considered the surgery as well because I figured there's no way some product on TV was going to fix a problem that I'd had this majorly and that obviously run in my family. So I finally gave in. I really only ordered it just to keep her happy, almost thinking it's not going to work, but it's not going to be that expensive, just to try it. Tell her, see, don't buy stupid products off TV. They don't work. And so we buy it. It shows up. I thought it was going to show up not looking that professional, but I was kind of impressed with how professional looking the packaging was. Took the product out. It didn't look like a little cheap piece of junk. I thought, okay, maybe. I popped it in and thought, well, I mean, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not going to keep me up. Okay, we'll give it a try. So that night, I put it in, didn't have any trouble falling asleep, and remember waking up in the same bed and not having been nudged in the middle of the night. And I woke up before she did, and I took it out, and I went, no way. I didn't want to wake her up and go, hey, wake up. Did I not snore? So I just put it on my nightstand and went downstairs and sat in my office. And she comes down the stairs the next morning and goes, that thing worked. I went, no way. She goes, yep, it totally worked. So I thought, okay, tonight it won't work. Second night, popped it in, totally worked. And so if I get into bed now without the ZQuiet in my mouth, she will jump up and go get it and go, here, don't forget this.
Yeah, you forgot it when we went to the cabin
Right.
one weekend. That was not fun.
No.
Well,
It was not that long ago.
It's the only time he's forgotten to take it on an out-of-town trip, and it was like stepping back into time, remembering. And it actually made me appreciate it a little bit more because I remembered what it was like without it. I didn't sleep at all that weekend, and
I felt guilty and awful, and yeah,
Yes.
it was like a trip back in time for me too.
And as soon as we got home, I saw it on the bathroom counter, and I said, you can't do that again. You cannot forget that thing.
So I think we're gonna have to buy another one and put it at the cabin just so we know it's there.
So Carrie, tell me, how did you feel that first night that you were able to get real sleep?
It was great. I mean, I think you take for granted maybe what a good night's sleep can do for you. As a mom, you need to have all your faculties present, dealing with your children, running them around, taking them to school, activities, things like that. Being able to be refreshed and awake the next day to do that, it makes such a huge difference. And I know it sounds silly, but I was really, really happy that it worked.
Yeah,
was
she
great.
was. And I was really happy to, wake up in the same bed.
Oh, that's nice too, to be able to have your husband sleeping in the same bed. I mean, you don't want to have to be sleeping in a separate room. It's, you feel like it's the 50s or something.
Yeah.
So it was really good to be able to feel normal again.
Yeah.
So in a brief answer, tell me what life was like before the ZQuiet and what life is like after ZQuiet.
I'd say before the ZQuiet, life was a little more tense and cranky around our house. I felt guilty for putting her through something that she didn't deserve. I think life after ZQuiet has, it sounds silly to say that a little product that you just pop in your mouth can have a big impact on your quality of life, but it really has. If you sleep better, it seems everything in life is better.
Do you feel like the people who developed ZQuiet is a company that cares?
Well, I'd say the people who develop ZQuiet as a company have to be people who care. I mean, their motivation, I think, is honest in wanting to help people, help couples have a better relationship, sleep in the same bed, not be angry at each other. Every company out there is trying to sell their products, but it's nice to know that there are some companies who are selling products that actually work and they actually do something that can benefit people, not just try to make money.
Awesome, great. And so you're a blogger, so tell me about your experience with ZQuiet and your blog.
Well, so I write some product reviews every now and again on the different stuff I like to try out and buy, mainly geeky stuff. So generally technology is what I'll write about. And the only reason I wrote about the ZQuiet is it was just a product that I'd bought and I figured I'll try it out. And I was really skeptical when I ordered it. I really only bought it just to keep her happy and to just show her that I was trying to solve the problem. I really didn't think anything was going to be able to solve the problem short of surgery. And so when I got the product and tried it out, even before when I ordered the product, I thought, again, it's a TV product. It's probably not going to work. I'll make sure I pay for it with a credit card so that I can dispute the charge, once it doesn't work. I mean, I was really assuming that it really wasn't going to work. And so I was very surprised when it did work. And I wrote about it, and there have been a lot of responses on my blog to it. I mean, a few hundred people a day will type in a search engine, something about the ZQuiet that ends up on my website, and a lot of people have written on there saying, yeah, I tried it, it also works for me, or seriously, does that work? I feel like a pitch man sometimes because I'm telling people, yeah, it really works. Go here and try it. Here's a link for a discount on it. Go get it. I had a friend at a karate event that I went to on the East Coast last month, and I was talking to him about it, and he must have mentioned it to his wife because I got a Facebook message from him saying, hey, what was the name of that thing you said worked for you for snoring, because my wife wants me to try it. A week later, I get another message from him going, dude, thank you so much. My wife loves you. It totally worked. And so, that's another happy couple who get to sleep in the same bed.
Very cool. That's awesome. So you're just out there constantly just recommending it to people.
I mean, it sounds silly, to sounds like Snorers Anonymous. Hi, I'm Steve, and I'm a snorer. But I mean, anytime it comes up naturally in conversation, which how you sleep or the fact that you snore tends to come up in conversation a lot more often than you think it would. And anytime I get the chance, I go, oh yeah, I totally use this thing. You should check it out. And they go, seriously, it works. In fact, today my assistant was talking to me, and she said, do those things really work? I go, yeah. She goes, I need to get one for my husband. So I'm learning more about who snores apparently through talking about it.
That's awesome. So with your experience with the ZQuiet, would you guys say that you love the ZQuiet?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I'd easily say I love the ZQuiet. It's made a big impact in our life, which sounds, again, silly. It sounds silly to say that a little piece of plastic that you put in your mouth might have an impact in your life, but it really does.
It's great.
Which one of you two loves the ZQuiet more?
That's me.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, he got to sleep through it. I couldn't. So it's great. It's helped a lot.
Yeah, I know she loves it more because if I get into bed and I've left it on the kitchen counter or on the bathroom counter, I'll say that again. If I get into bed and it turns out that I've left my ZQuiet on the bathroom counter, and I forget about it, she never forgets about it. She'll.
No, I really will get out of bed.
She really will get out of bed, grab it, and go, "Oh, you forgot this. Here you go." And it's not that I'm trying to get out of wearing it. It doesn't bother me at all. It's not uncomfortable. I don't mind wearing it at all. I'm forgetful sometimes and don't think about it. And she'll always think about it.
Nice. So, how long have you been using the ZQuiet, and what is the number one reason that you continue to use it?
I'd say I've been using the ZQuiet for a little over a year, and the number one reason I keep using it is because it works. Just as simple as that. It lets her sleep through the night, which lets me sleep through the night. And as long as it keeps working, we'll keep using it.
Carrie,
what would you like to say to the inventors of the ZQuiet?
Well, a big thank you is definitely something I'd like to tell them. It's really helped a lot for us being able to sleep at night and not be cranky the next day.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Steve,
this is to Frank, but how important, you guys are great, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
How important is it that the intimacy of being able to sleep in the same bed, like how important is it to each of you, now that you have ZQuiet, like from before and after, how important is that factor?
How important is it for us to sleep in the same bed, I would say, is really important. I mean, we're still newlyweds. We've only been married 3 years, and, no one wants to have to be separated from your wife. We would always go to bed in the same bed, but more often than not, we'd wake up in separate beds. And I like being there in the morning. I like both of us being there in the morning. And I think it's really important to a relationship to be able to be together, husband and wife, all through the night and into the morning.
Actually, being able to hang out at night in bed, just like hanging out, is one of my favorite parts of the day because it's quiet and it's, just us. And so I really look forward to it. And it was definitely hard because before he started using the ZQuiet, we would start out in the same room, but I always knew that he was going to have to leave and go into another room. And so, it just kind of makes you feel, I don't know, it was kind of sad.
I think it took.
Talk about that. How does that feel? How did it feel to have that happen? And what if you didn't have a solution?
Well, how it felt was, it was, I don't know, it was kind of depressing. I didn't want to have to kick him out of our room. And if we didn't have the solution, I honestly don't know.
Oh, I would have definitely had to try surgery. I would have tried anything. I mean, if this hadn't worked, I would have still kept looking for something. For me, what it felt like to not have it, I think there was a lot of guilt on both of our parts. She felt guilty for kicking me out. I felt guilty for making her lose sleep. It was always kind of tense, and we just get into bed and watch TV and kind of start chilling out, getting
just
ready
when
to go
you
to
get
bed.
to relax.
Right. In the back of your mind is thinking the buzzsaw is going to come, and I, she wouldn't say, "So, are you going to try not to snore tonight?" Because no one can control that. But I could tell she was tense. I was tense. I could tell it was really, it was many months this was going on, and I could tell it was really starting to grate on her. That was making me feel terrible. I mean, no guy likes to tick off his woman, and I was doing that night after night, so it felt terrible. And the surprise I felt when I found out that this thing actually worked, and followed by the relief, and now it's just excitement and joy and wanting to tell everybody I know about it. It feels great. It's a 180-degree change in how it used to be.
Great. Good? Okay. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is just going to have you guys get a little video. You guys just kind of some lifestyle shots, some fun videos. So
Lifestyle shots.
So you guys dance? You guys ever dance?
No. Not since the 80s. No.
Well, what are like slow dance? What,
Or just being affectionate or...
yeah.
That we can do. Affectionate.
Just being affectionate.
We got to keep this PG-13 or what? No.
Keep it PG.
Because I know affectionate. No.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me if I'm touching inappropriately.
Oh my goodness.
Where are the no-go zones? Yeah. No.
No,
No.
no, it's all good.
I'll show you all the things I like. I like to do this. Do you want to pick you up and carry you around?
Nope.
She doesn't like when I pick her up and carry her around. Do you want to get on my back like Yoda in Return of the Jedi?
No, I don't want to do that.
That's awesome.
She
He's
never.
the crazy one, obviously.
You're totally speaking my language.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
nerd, so-
Right. Yeah.
Oh, he loves that stuff.
The Dagobah scenes are the best.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been educated on all that
Oh yeah.
geeky stuff.
Not up to speed.
Affection like nibble on the ear. No. No. None of that. I'll kiss you on the cheek. How's that? You
Yes,
handle that?
you can kiss me
Okay.
on the cheek.
How about some sappy stuff like, holding each other's hands, kind of twirl a little.
Like it's a Match.com commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah. So the first dinner we ever went on. You want to talk about our first date?
You can talk about our first date.
Well, no. If they publish the one thing I'm going to say about it, you'll get really mad.
Okay, just don't talk. Just don't talk. I don't know what you're talking about, but
The where I parked.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. No. I parked somewhere funny on our first date, and she doesn't like when I talk about it.
Okay.
Don't embarrass me.
Don't embarrass you. That's what I embarrass. That's what I do best. What kind of affectionate stuff we do? I like to stand behind her at the kitchen when she's washing dishes, like this. She doesn't like. Yeah, she likes it. You don't mind that, do you?
No.
Seriously, the Yoda offer is good.
That's okay.
I don't know, it sounds kind of cute.
I know, right? Could be hot. Little cosplay.
Telling you.
I look good as
Pass
Yoda,
this around the
right?
corner,
Yeah.
so you gotta warm up.
I can't do the flip with her on my back though,
Oh.
Oh, no.
like Mark Hamill could.
Yeah.
I think it was a stunt man. Yeah, it was like
I hurt myself.
Mitch Gaylord was a stunt double or something. I don't know.
He probably has encyclopedia.
Of geekiness, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, cool. Is there any other? Great.
How about you pick me up?
Great.
No? She won't pick me up.
No.
Why not?
I
Use the force.
know, right?
If I had the force, I could try.
It would take a lot of force to lift me up.
Size matters not though.
Right, no.